Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be an event and prize wall breakdown for the Steve Austin Invitational. So my buddy Scott was nice enough to ask me if I wanted his breakdowns for the event. I used to do a lot of breakdown videos in the past, and I went away from that as a time thing. And Scott is nice enough to put this together and then send it to me on Discord. So if you guys are and I've known Scott a very long time. He's typically really close to on with what he does. Yeah, as long as things in the blog and such like that are right. So if it's slightly off, don't blame Scott. If you're gonna blame somebody, you could blame me, but don't blame anyone. This is just the best of his ability, and like I said, he's usually extremely accurate. He's done it a very long time. Austin Weekend Showdown Point Breakdown. Tours 3.8 million in change. Showdown 4.2 million. Faction event 2 million. Portal claims 300,000. Total 10.353 million. Final free milestone 9.449 million. So that's obviously taking CSS, things like that, maxing the showdown, etc. into account, which he's going to talk about more. Other available free points, showdown notoriety leaderboard. Note, last month, 500,000 plus solo points were in hard to reach bonus showdown event milestones. I'll update this on Saturday once that portion of the event goes live. Almost guaranteed that that's the same this month, or this month. So I would anticipate off of the showdown event, if you don't typically get those bonus milestones that are very hard to obtain, just knock 500,000 off your score right away, which brings you down to more like whatever that is, 9.8, right? And then the prize wall coin breakdown. Tours, there's 1,000. Premium showdown free, 42.90. Free solo milestones, 2,500. Bonus milestones available for free low spending if you get to 10.1 million milestone, which is you gotta have to do a bunch. I'll get all of the stuff basically is 4,500. Faction event has 100. Faction leaderboard up to 6,500. Showdown event 3,000. Likely deep into the bonus milestones. Yes, that's very likely the case. So total best case scenario, free low spending, 21,890. This assumes the 10.1 million milestone and a top faction placement and all Prizewall coins in the showdown. So you're very unlikely to get that margin unless you're in the faction that finishes first. I think, and this is where he talks about this, I think for players in, say, a top 20 faction, maybe you don't get all 3,000 from the showdown. You probably only get, say, 2,000, not 6,500 from the faction leaderboard. I'd say between 12,000 and 15,000 is a decent conservative estimate for someone who doesn't spend, but is able to complete all the tours, top 20 faction, make at least some decent progress in the showdown contest. And I would say that's going to be extremely accurate. 12 to 15k is likely where a lot of you will get if you're in the top 20 faction and can do everything. Of course, if you're lower in camp, that's just going to go down. And really, best case scenario, that 21,890 is there. So that's really good info from Scott. I really appreciate that. I'll probably get back to doing a bunch of these, assuming Scott wants to keep sending them to me, like doing these with the prize wall breakdown, and trying to get them out before the event goes live as much as possible, or like in this case, the showdown goes live, right? So typically same day the event goes live or Saturday early morning. So like Friday night, Saturday morning is when I plan on kind of releasing these sort of things. So now with that being said, let's actually take a look at the prize wall. We got 80,000 for Austin the Alliance. I mean, you're probably not getting to 80,000. If you do get to 80,000, you probably have already recruited him early. That's like mega whale status, like big old chonker. Unpredictable Bionic Austin is just rare. He's okay. He's close-ish to being very good. So potentially right trainers, right plates, one day he could actually be good because he can make a bunch of multiply gems and stuff. But right now he's more just rare than anything. 150% Austin strap. Specifically, That's a 35,000 currency for a class-specific class, not or a one-person strap. It's only ever useful in him. Never crazy about those unless you simply don't need anything else in the prize wall. So these I hate the Takedown 3 bundle. Takedown 3 is not a good medal. The Fury 3 bundle is expensive for 2 medals. They are legendary. It is random roll on the color. So you could get in any of this, whatever. There's like 6 options, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, 1 and 7, you get the one you want. Keep that in mind. If, however, like one of these completed a set, so you could run another set of Fury 3, potentially, then I sort of like it. Tier 6 metal chest is just RNG randomness. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get over time. Those are good. The price is really good. So you get 5 medals for half of the price of the guaranteed 2 Fury 2s, for example. So if you don't have a lot of the new medals, I think these are decent to stock up on, right? Depending on where you get on points again. So most people, so far, everything we've talked about starting here is where you're going to have a chance to maybe get something. I'd say skip this for sure. These ultimate random era class and gem straps, priced decently, but it's complete random, right? The era. You're going to get the guaranteed like class, powerhouse, showboat, acro, technician, trickster, striker, but they can be any era. So hit or miss how useful that is a big chunk of currency, right? Random affiliate, ultimate random affiliation. This can roll IOW, but it can also roll anything else and then any class era again. But it's worth noting it can roll Icon of WrestleMania, so that's a decent one to put in your pocket. And then if you just don't have a lot of affiliation straps, this one cannot roll IOW, but it can roll other stuff, right? So if you don't have very many for your like MP trainers and stuff, then this is pretty good value. Just as a chance to get a guaranteed affiliation strap, and hopefully you hit gold. Now, shards. Couple things. One, I absolutely freaking hate that Scopely did this with Penta. 400 shards, but it's in one offer. So if you're 100 shards away, if you're 50 shards away, if you're 5 shards away, if you're 200 away, you gotta pay for 400, and it's basically, if you're in a top faction and get everything done, you might be able to get it. This should absolutely be split into 200s at the minimum. There should never just be one time. It should be 2 times and then half of the price. This is designed to make people overpay or not be able to reach it. I dislike that very much, but give the optics, they're still on the prize wall. Absolutely, Scopely, if you could get away from doing these one-time offers, and I'm going to use the term stupid because to me it's stupid, and do 2, same pricing, but do at least 2, and give people more options, right? So like even if you don't get there, you can still get Prizewall currency. And then so the Penta shards, whatever, right? Like I mean 400's a lot. 20,000 is tough to get. If it recruits you Penta, okay. I don't love Penta as an acro, he's solid. I do like Dick Kick Cena. Last time is now. I think for me personally, he's my favorite trickster in the game. I think him and Bradshaw are the 2 best tricksters in the game. I think you can make a case for either. CM Punk's pretty solid acrobat. Is he my favorite now with his plate? If you have his plate, he's got a bunch of unblockable. However, the negative with CM Punk is he increases MP in that moveset. You can, of course, use the multiply set. The moveset I like with the unblockable, though, he increases MP and he increases gem damage. So you have to watch out for 2 counters. And there's a lot of counters floating around, so that can get annoying. So that's a huge strike against him. But you can run the multiply set too. He does have MP gear if you can get your hands on that, which is also very nice. So HLR Cena, he's not the best showboat, but he's like really good, and he can do a ton of different stuff. Super versatile. I like him for that. I'm just kind of talking about him. I'll talk about value after the fact. So of these, I don't think any of them have like amazing trainers so far. Chain Gang Cena can be really good. These 2 are great era coverage. If you missed out on Chain Gang Cena, chance to pick up potentially 250 more shards on the cheap. Do like that value. BPP is an excellent trainer. I don't think he's good as a fighter anymore. He's like a little bit, he can sort of hit with all of the stuff, but he's like power crept by a ton of other powerhouses. However, 2 green MP, 50% green gem damage. Fantastic 2 MP trainer. Use them all the time. I'm not a big Hall of Fame angle believer, liker, enjoyer. Brett used to be what I would have classified when he first came out a must-have, amazing trainer. Then we got all of the zombies that did specific colors at a much higher rate, so he doesn't get used very much on my roster anymore. And he's as a fighter, right? Bliss I love. If you missed out on Bliss, I think she's great on all levels of accounts. So, you know, if you can get her, cool. Same thing with Dom. Love him too. Both A tiers, both fantastic. Same thing, JD McDonough. Like in particular, those three, if you've missed them, get it, finish them, finish it up. Econ, I hate on Prizewalls. Absolutely do not take ever, unless it's the last thing available. It does nothing to long-term help your account. So I just throw those out, right? So now assuming you get like, let's say 15,000 currency, what is the best buy? Okay, so no Penta. I really like, assuming you're starting to get close, because he's such a good trickster. Dick Kick Cena. Punk is really good too, so I do like that pricing. HLR Cena, the pricing is solid, right? The this value 200 Cena for 10,000, I feel like is really good, especially for what he is. But you're probably a long way away from HLR Cena, so right? Chain Gang, like I said, fantastic pricing. If you missed him somehow, you got to be close if you did stuff. So if you're close and that gets him, love the value. Same thing, BPP, if you can get him for this, a good trainer like that. Angle, not worth it. And Brett, probably not worth it unless you're super close and can recruit him. And these three, I love. The pricing, the value is great. Tons of shards for cost. So those are freaking fantastic in my opinion. There's no plates, so you can just kind of go ham, right, and do whatever you want. On prize walls like this, if I'm missing shards, 100% I'm taking shards. It doesn't matter how far away I am. That's just what I do. So like in my case, this would recruit Penta for me. It's the only one that would recruit, but this gets me closer to HLR Cena, and it's, you know, 200 shards towards him, potentially 400. So I'd be more inclined to take that over Penta, even if this recruits Penta for me, because I'd be overpaying for extra shards, which pisses me off, as you can probably tell. So yeah, whenever there's a prize wall like this, I prioritize getting shards ahead of anything else because there's no plates. The straps are all specific to a certain character and grossly overpriced, or a huge gamble, right? So I just like automatically dismiss all of that up until the affiliation for me. This, I would only be going, really the only affiliation two times I need is an Icons of WrestleMania for an Acrobat. So literally the odds of me hitting it are slim to none. So even though I love this, for me, it's not going to do it. These, I don't need any of them. So that's kind of how I look at the prize wall like this. To me, it's if, am I missing any of the shards and I'm missing these two, then that's what I want to get. Either I'll get one set of these or two sets of these, or I'll get Penta and recruit him. You can debate which is more important. So there's that. But again, overall, I think out of everything on here, I'm going to go with these three. If you don't have them, you should get them because they're probably going to be able to do a lot for you on your account if you don't have them. Whereas these other ones, other than BPP, he's the best trainer on there, I think, for sure. I feel, yeah, and McDonough's really useful coach too. Can't remember what Dom does right off the top of my head, but McDonough's like column break and stuff. I do use him a lot. And BPP gets used a ton. The rest, I don't think are a big deal at trainer. So, you know, do with that information what you will. Overall, if you're missing some of the shards, I think this is a wall where you take shards. So, even if I don't like them, like even if, so let's say you're just missing these two, or these are the only two you get to that you're missing, even though I'd say they're not really worth it, I'd say get them over other stuff unless you still need a bunch of affiliation straps for your like MP trainers, Sherry, that kind of stuff. Then I think you start, like, you go ahead and gamble, right, and see if you can get an affiliation strap potentially. But that's up to you what you do with your account. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know where you end up getting and what you end up taking from the prize wall. Also, big shout out and thanks to Scott. This super appreciated, man. When I have a limited amount of time to do everything, something like that saves me a ton of time, and I can put it in a video and help the community. So make sure in the comments and throw Scott a thank you for that. And you know, maybe we can keep doing that in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, good luck out there. Thanks again, Scotty. Appreciate you, buddy. That's awesome.